If you clicked on this video, you probably care about your weight and your health, which is perfect. My name is Maya, I'm 25 years old, and I know exactly how you feel, so let's get into it. For years, I struggled to lose weight and to maintain a low healthy weight, as well as healthy habits around food. I both excessively overate and drastically underate at some point in my teens and early adult years. This approximately decade-long love-hate relationship with food taught me something very valuable. Weight loss is all about inner peace. I know. You might be thinking now, I don't want some pseudo-psychological rubbish, or I don't have time, I want to lose weight right now. And you're right, so let's get into it. The 3 essential steps that I needed to take to get to my current weight healthily. Step 1. Recognition. Hunger or craving. It all starts with a thought. I could eat. Or I'm hungry. Or food. Normally you reach this point several times a day, and then it's time to recognize your state and decide. Awareness is vital because recognizing whether the state you're in is hunger or a craving can be difficult when you're not used to making this distinction. Now, hunger is a physiological state when your body needs food, and it presents as a rumbling stomach that usually arises 3 to 5 hours after the previous meal. It's something you experience physically, which means either it's there or it's not. In contrast, hot-headed cravings arise in the mind. The thoughts you're having are more likely to be centering a specific item of food that you like the taste of. Your body doesn't need food. You want to eat. You want to experience taste, warmth, the sensation of fullness, comfort, or distraction. It's psychological. Unlike in a state of hunger, there are no physical signs present. There's nothing wrong with associating eating with pleasure or comfort to a degree, but we must understand that when we eat out of cravings and not out of a feeling of hunger, then we will gain weight in the long term because the body actually doesn't need what we are giving it in that moment. Weight loss means recognizing that eating is supposed to occur in response to a physical sign. There should not be a psychological motive behind your food choices. That's when eating stops being something you worry about, or you dread, or you turn to in times of need. That's when weight loss and weight maintenance actually become easy. Step 2. Quantity and quality. So you hear and feel your stomach rumble. You recognize you're hungry and that it's time to eat, and so you decide to get something to eat. But now what comes in is the second and third most important thing when it comes to food. Quantity. The amount of food you eat is the second most important deciding factor in whether you will lose, maintain, or gain weight. Talking about how much you should eat is incredibly difficult because of the multifactorial nature of weight changes. I could sit here and tell you that you need to hit a certain calorie count, but it's just not effective. The fact of the matter is that your hunger fluctuates and your needs are not the same every day. Static numbers are not always suitable. This is why most diets fail. What comes in at this point is again awareness. The only reliable indication that your portion size is right for you is this: the time you get hungry after that portion. The stomach takes about 3 hours, give or take, to empty after a meal. So if you're at hour 5 and you're still not truly hungry, you know the meal was too big. If you hear your stomach rumble at less than 2 hours postprandially, your meal was too small. There's nothing wrong with eating larger portions, but the key here is that waiting 5 or 6 hours until you get hungry again sets you up for eating earlier than you're supposed to. So in essence, smaller meals are usually the way to go. Quality. If I told you it doesn't matter what you eat, I would be an idiot. But I'm not. So let's talk about the quality of your food. Even though for pure weight loss, the quantity of food you eat is more important than the quality of food you eat, when your weight loss comes at the price of your health, it's literally worthless. What you eat will support your health by providing you with enzymes, vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. We all know that. Lifestyle-related and diet-related diseases set you up for weight gain in the long run. But what we eat also impacts our weight directly. 2 examples of this. Eating a lot of dry food like bread or pastries means your food bolus is less hydrated, making it harder for your small intestine and colon to move it along. If you get constipated, you are physically heavier than when you defecate daily. Eating foods high in sodium, like fries or cheesy hamburgers, will normally lead to water retention as a compensatory mechanism to preventing hypernatremia. This water weight will also show up on the scale. At the end of the day, everybody and their dog has an opinion on the best diet, and there are 1,000 different approaches. I'm convinced everybody should do their own thing and then monitor their health, for example via blood tests, and then readjust if necessary. However, there are some basic facts we can probably all agree on. Fruits and veggies are important. The majority of what we eat should be minimally processed. Extremes in salt, refined sugar, and fat are to be avoided. Alcohol should not be a weekly thing. Caffeine should be limited. Step 3. Balance and mindset. Strict rules and regulations are not part of a healthy mindset around food. The all-or-nothing mindset has failed me more times than I can count, and it's obvious to see why. We are humans, not machines. Some days I overeat, some days I undereat because I'm stressed, some days I'll have a cocktail, some days I eat a lot of chocolate, some days I eat ice cream, some days I don't hit my 5 a day, some days I don't eat something that's plant-based, some days I eat highly processed foods. We are imperfect humans, and the sooner we realize that punishment for our so-called mistakes makes everything worse by adding shame, guilt, negativity to a subject that is already touchy for so many of us, the better. If only I had understood as a teenager that my body isn't meant to be forced into a rule book, then maybe I would never have been overweight. And maybe I wouldn't have spent so much time hating myself. If only I had understood then that there's a huge difference between enforcing rules with the brutality of a military person and setting boundaries with food neutrality according to physical needs. Imperfection is perfection, and there is never any need for a punishing all-or-nothing approach that is only going to backfire in the end. Looking back at these 3 points, we can see the central idea that sits at the core of the mechanisms to weight loss and maintenance. Awareness, presence, attention, inner peace. Call it what you will, but without it you will forever be reliant on a higher authority making your food decisions for you, like a pre-written meal plan, a diet coach, or the latest crash diets. Healthy weight loss happens because of a healthy mental state using our free will in the best interest of our physicality. And you made it, but because I'm a med student, I love me some revision. So let's do a little summary. Hunger is physical with stomach rumbling. Cravings are mental without physical signs. Food intake should be guided by physical, not psychological needs. Portion size matters, and the duration of time after which you get hungry again is deciding. What you eat directly and indirectly impacts your weight. So be reasonable and get preventive checkups at your primary care physician regularly to see if you have to change your diet. Forgiving instead of punishing if you want long-term success and peace of mind during weight loss and maintenance. Becoming more present and aware makes these 3 steps a lot easier. Because I really believe in the power of the present moment and the power of thought, I always finish my videos with 5 positive affirmations, and I'm aware that virtually no one watches these affirmations, but I will include them all the same because they're a really important part of my content, and I think the mental aspect of weight loss and weight maintenance, health maintenance, improving one's health is highly underestimated. So let's finish by saying 5 positive affirmations. My peace of mind is the most important constant in my life. I love myself and I accept myself first of all. I am perfect just as I am. I show myself love and consideration every day, and that's why I succeed. I am comfortable with making healthy choices for my body and mind.